hip hop and wrestling.
Let me go ahead and get this theme song playing, and then we'll go ahead and get into the shits. See, I'm cursing already.
HipHopandWrestling.com.
All right. We are back. It's just me and Gold today. And we got a lot to talk about because there was a whole lot of wrestling.
Yes.
I didn't see all of it. I saw most of it. I had the AEW pay-per-view. I had Saturday night's main event. Had Monday Night Raw. I still haven't watched NXT Battleground yet, but it's on the list.
Oh, man.
TNA, they had a pay-per-view on Friday. Like, it was a packed weekend of wrestling, but a nice problem to have, right? But before we unpack all that, hiphopandwrestling.com. My name is VSOP, and I'm with my mans of them. Go ahead, Gold.
Steven Gold, beautiful people. How y'all feeling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have you, sir. So I figured we would start with Saturday night's main event, which was it was a good show, and it seemed like it went by really, really fast.
It did.
It did. It was only 4 matches to begin with, but then they added that 5th one with the Zelina and Chelsea Green. But before we get into the match by match, what did you think about the show overall?
I liked it better than the last one. I think this is a little more like well put together, and it was exciting. It was good to see CM come back, man, and wrestle, man. Like CM just got that ridiculous love, bro, and you just love him, man. He's just that guy, man. So like that just the strength of that was just super cool, man. But well put together show, and it was just everybody did a great job, man. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty fun show. Definitely a TV level show. It wasn't PLE level, but it was great for TV, and I feel like Saturday night's main event has this different vibe to it overall, in terms of even the way it's produced with Jesse Ventura being there, just the way the crowd is, you know what I mean? And I feel like they're putting together a bunch, like typically the name holds weight. It's main events. These are main events you would probably see, maybe on the PLE or at the end of the episode of Raw or SmackDown or whatever, right? So
agreed.
So yeah, so I thought it was a good show. It was easy to watch. It was fun. No complaints whatsoever, but a lot of things did happen and a lot of seeds were planted on that show. So they did a good job there. So let's go ahead and get into the first match. And they started off pretty hot, and I'm glad they did. So hold on, let me pull this up.
Me too.
All right, so they started off with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn, which I thought that was going to be the main event, to be quite honest with you. Because as you mentioned, CM Punk is so crazy over, right? He's teaming up with Sami Zayn. Seth's doing this thing with Braun. I figured that's kind of like the hottest angle right now, if you were to ask me. However, I like the fact that they started the show with it because it got the crowd hot. The energy was crazy. The match didn't seem that long, though, or maybe because it was just so action-packed that it went by quick. It didn't seem like a long match, but the crowd heat was pretty amazing. See, I done did it already. Doing it already. Braun Breaker jumping off the damn apron into that announce table. That spot.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to mess around and get hurt doing that because he never lands well.
No, he doesn't.
And I don't know what it is about him and Jacob Fatu in that damn announce table and the way they just flip over it every damn time. But it was a fun match. But what was really surprising was the return of Bronson Reed. And granted,
your boy,
yeah, and I'm a Bronson Reed fan, right?
Look, I got excited for you. I was like, I said, I know BS losing it right now.
Oh, brother. Yeah, I was loving it. And at first I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And then I thought to myself, well, it kind of does make sense. Kind of. Like if Paul Heyman's going to assemble a strong unit why not pick someone, a monster like Bronson Reed, you know what I mean? Who was in opposite of CM Punk at Survivor Series, right?
Yep.
And War Games, right? We just can't forget the fact that he, you know, squashed Seth Rollins with the 6 tsunamis. You know what I mean? We can't forget about that. However, this is a new Seth. You know, this is a new stable, a new goal, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into Raw. But Bronson Reed, he interferes, takes CM Punk out. Braun spears Sammy and gets the pin. And there we are, the alliance between Seth, Bronson, and Braun. Seth, Braun, and Bronson, and the Wise Man. I like it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. What did you think about the match, and then ultimately Seth's stable growing?
I did like the match a lot. Definitely action packed, man. Everybody put in their work. Definitely was surprised Bronson Reed came back. Did not even think about that happening at all. But somebody planted a seed when Paul Heyman was like doing the Pat McAfee show. And then he was like, I might look for some new prospects. And like the audience was like, Reed. So like they probably like kind of predicted that, man. And then lo and behold, fast forward, who pops up? Bronson Reed, man. So the people, he had some real fans out there, man, and they kind of like knew that they wanted to bring him back, bro. So that was really surprising. I'm just anxious to see like how this regime works out, like who's gonna play what part, because we already know they want Seth to be the new, champion, get that championship belt. It's like, all right, so what part Braun is gonna play and what part of Bronson is gonna play, and how the bloodline is gonna like, well, if it is the bloodline still, how is that gonna like take part? Like, is they gonna just let that ride, like him being on that side now when he was once riding for the bloodline? Like, it's gonna be fun, man. Good problems.
Yeah. Well, he was riding with the evil Solo Sikoa led bloodline, right? And who's to say that Seth may not? I doubt Seth will ever like be like a team up with Roman Reigns ever again. But who's to say that he won't? So. He might
switch sides.
Possibly.
He might team up with.
I mean, he might want to deal with someone who hates Roman Reigns and CM Punk as much as he does.
Yeah,
I think he's looking for alliances so he can dominate. Ultimately, that's what he wants to do, right? So, okay, as you mentioned, what's the plan? Where they're trying to go? I have an idea. I can predict some things, but we don't even know if this stable is complete. But what we do know is that this feud between CM Punk and Seth Rollins isn't over, and Sami Zayn, he's interjected into it now. So it's like, all right, we pretty much have our summer already booked in terms of like matches and whatnot. But fun match. It was great. And who's CM Punk going to go after first? I mean, last night he still wanted to get his hands on Seth, but he got business with Bronson and Braun. Those matches ain't happened yet, right?
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a build up for him himself, but I think it might be it's going to be him and Bronson Reed. I can see that match happening.
So you think that match is going to happen first?
It's going to be like a build up match before you get to Seth.
I'm thinking that Sammy's probably going to have to go through Bronson as well and possibly eat some tsunamis. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, still good match, great heat, and this feud must continue. All right, so now we had Zelina Vega defend her United States Championship against Chelsea Green. And I mean, the match was a match. It was really, it was nothing special. Something it was something they could have did on SmackDown. There was, it's, okay, so I'll give Zelina Vega this. That code red she did off the top rope was pretty dope. It was
fire.
I can't front that. That was, the way they finished it was dope. She botched that 619 though. Her leg got caught. Because her foot got caught in the rope when she was trying to do the spin, but she got it back. She brought it right back. So yeah, it was a TV match to me, and it was good. There was no like women on the card to begin with. We needed to get some level of the women's roster to represent, right? So perfectly fine. Zelina won. She maintained her title, so that was her first title defense, I think, right? So she did her thing, and I don't know how long she's going to hold on to it, but so far, so good. I have no problem with it.
I didn't either, and shout out to her, bro. Like, I've been watching her for a while, and she's definitely getting better. Because I remember I used to watch her, and I'm just like, oh man, like she's slow to get to this position. Like, oh man, like you can see it, but now you can see she's getting a little more fluid with her movements as far as like her ring presence, and as far as like getting to the proper like positions to like make something look more believable than it used to be. Because like I said, I used to watch her, man. I'm just like, all right, come on, baby, like get there a little faster. Like, come on, baby, like you. It's kind of like you're in practice. No, this is live TV. Get to it. You got to get to it. You got to make it believable. So I am proud of her because it seemed like she's getting a little more better.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like there's like the really athletic women in the division, and then there's the ones who like it seems like they're just taking way too many steps.
Yes, exactly, and that was
So. But yeah, I'm with you. Let me just move this over here real quick. I am with you in terms of the fluidity is there. She was moving really, really good. I mean, with the exception of that 619, I thought she did perfectly fine in the match. Again, it was just more of a TV match. It was an impromptu addition to the card, so I wasn't necessarily prepared for it or anticipating it, right? So it felt like kind of like a buffer, if you will. Before we got to the next match. Yeah, Selena did her thing. She's getting better. You know who else is getting better? I noticed. And I've had some words about BFAB. But she is starting to slowly but surely improve. At least her finish. She had that that sit down net breaker. Did you see that? So I was like, okay, that move is kind of fire. I'm gonna keep my eye on you, B5. You're starting to get a little bit better. She just got those long ass legs. And she's doing these kicks. I think she's trying to like protect her opponent a little too much because most likely those trunks would knock somebody out. But that little net breaker into the sit down, I was like, okay, yeah, that's actually a really dope finish. So I got my eye on BFAB.
Yeah, they trying to make their way into the game, bro. They trying to have like solidify their spot into the game, man. They want their own finishing moves, so they doing their homework, they studying, and they practicing, bro.
Well, you gotta have.
That's why I think a lot of these, they're having like these new different signatures too. Like I think Braun Breaker, like the one he does when he jump off the apron up to the announcer's table. Like he want to have that extra signature move in 2K25. You can do, bro.
Can you do that move in 2K25?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why they're doing that. Because if they see them do it on a regular, they're gonna add it to it. Next time they do the next game, they're gonna add that signature move.
I wonder how they would set that up actually in the game. How would do you think that might, okay, you know what? Here's what I'm thinking. If they want to put that move specifically in the game, they would have to probably have it to where it was like a table, an announce table finisher. You probably have to get them to the announce table. You probably have to have like a finisher stored, and then it would do the whole animation, get them on the table, go to the apron, and then do it. Because I can't see any other way of doing it, but that does sound dope, and they do need to get that. They do need to get that in the game. But where was I? Cool match. We're Team Vega for now. Although I love me some Chelsea Green. She is still.
That's my baby too, bro.
Oh yes,
my baby.
Yeah, Chelsea Green is still. She's still the one. Maybe she'll get into the. Hopefully, she'll qualify for Money in the Bank.
That'll be fire.
I think her presence would definitely be appreciated in that match with the remaining slots that they have left. I think there's only 2 slots left at the moment. Yeah, there's only 2 slots left.
So, yeah, I think so. Yep.
Julia, Rhea, Roxanne. Who am I forgetting?
Who else won? That was Roxanne in the match with Becky, right?
Yeah, Roxanne, she's in there because I just saw it. Hold on, let me go to the Tron. Oh, it's Alexa Bliss, Rhea, Roxanne, and Julia so far. So there is 2 slots left. 2 slots. So I think Liv is trying to get a qualifier. So that might be one. So I don't know who the other.
She lost. Remember?
Well, she lost to Kairi Sane, but that was just a 1-on-1. That wasn't a.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that wasn't a triple threat, and so I assume they're going to do one more for Raw and one more for SmackDown. So maybe Chelsea will get in the SmackDown one and end up on a card. That'll be dope.
Would you rather see? Would you rather see Liv or Chelsea?
If I had to choose between 2 of them,
yeah.
I mean, they're on separate brands, so technically I can have my cake and eat it too. However, if you were to say pick one, I'd probably go with Liv.
Yeah.
And mainly because Roxanne's in there too. And I like where they're going with their story. So
yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah. But I can see why you
yeah, storyline progression wise, Liv, that would be good. I think that would be good. So if I had to choose between the two, but I think there might be a possibility that we can get both in there. I mean, that really depends. That really depends.
Yeah.
Like, who would be left on the SmackDown side?
Well, you got Jade. You got Naomi.
Bianca's coming back, right?
You got a few, bro. Yeah, SmackDown kind of stacked as far as women's division.
Yeah, now that you put it that way.
Yeah, they kind of stacked. Who else?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Who was in the match with Julia? Let's go for
That's a good question.
Hold on one second. All right, actually, so Chelsea Green can't even be in it. She was in the match with Alexa Bliss. So Chelsea Green's already out.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So Chelsea's out. Michin is out. Roxanne, she got past Natalya and Becky. Damn, I missed both of those matches. Rhea got over Kairi Sane and Zoe, which I missed that one too, and I'm glad I missed that one because I did not want to see that that injury. And then Julia, that's right, because Julia, it was over Zelina and Charlotte. So already Chelsea's out. Becky Lynch is out, clearly. Charlotte is out. Damn. So what's left?
Charlotte going to get some. I mean, Becky going to get some.
Lyra
Fury again. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So now what we got left is Bianca, if she comes back. I believe she's coming back. Naomi, Jade, Nia Jax. Bailey, if she wants to come back, if she's coming back, I don't know. All right. Well, I guess we'll see. So I guess I can't have Chelsea, then we got Liv. I think it's gonna be Liv, and then out of the 4 we mentioned, Nia. I would like to see Nia in that match. I would like to see her in a Money in the Bank match. Now that I think about it, see my boo Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Just have her throw everybody around and. Yeah,
I know that's your baby, bro.
Yeah, that's my boo. That would be kind of dope. All right, so next we had John Cena against R-Truth. Now this match was fun as hell.
It was.
It was short. It was a very short match. However, R-Truth coming out dressed up as Cena, and the promo he did on SmackDown the night before, talking about he's going to beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect into him. I thought that was pretty dope.
It was.
So yeah, it was a cool match, quick match. I guess Cena and this low blow, that's his jam now. Either I'm going to hit you.
Yeah, that's his go-to.
Either I'm going to hit you with the belt, or I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
kick you in the nuts, or I'm going to do both. In this case,
Mm-hmm.
he hit him with the belt, got the pin, and wanted to beat up on him some more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly what we predicted was going to happen.
Yeah, he wanted to make an example, man. He wanted to make he wanted to embarrass like somebody who like really supported him. You know what I'm saying? So that only added heat to his fire as being a heel. You know, so we definitely foresaw that coming. And we talked about this a long time ago. I remember, man. I was like, what could he do to like make himself look like a heel? And I was like, oh, he need to do something to R-Truth.
Yeah, the first person I suggested that he beat up was R-Truth. Because R-Truth had been doing his comeback move and the "you can't see me" for the past couple of years and whatnot. Here's the weird thing about this. Throughout all of this, R-Truth is still going to forgive him.
Yeah,
he is. So whenever Cena decides to go back good guy again, R-Truth will be right there with him. You know what I mean? So
he will.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. So, but interesting exchange backstage with Cena and Jey Uso on the show. So that was, and of course, it led to the outcomes a little bit later in the program. But yeah, Cena winning the match, that wasn't a surprise.
No, not at all.
Wasn't a surprise at all. But at least they made it really entertaining. And shout out to Cena doing his best to like not have any redeemable qualities whatsoever. He's doing his best. He's trying, but I don't think. But we're liking it.
Yeah,
it's I won't say it's backfiring. He still gets like the heel heat. He still gets the heat, but fans are still cheering him. They're still wearing his stuff.
They are, man. It don't matter what he does. Like my man's wearing the belt backwards.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking trash to the fans, man. He's beating out his biggest fan, R-Truth. He's doing any and everything he can, man. But it's just like, I don't know. They just love him, bro.
It's a new.
They just love him, man.
Yeah, a new shirt.
But I did like how he kind of played with the audience a little bit. He was just kind of like hesitant, like, man, should I hit him with this belt? He paused.
You know what? He had me for a second too. I didn't think he was going to turn to the back to the good side, but I thought maybe
he playing with him. He playing with the audience. He's doing a good job, bro.
I thought maybe he'll show a little mercy or something. Put the belt down, just hit him with the AA, pin him, and just walk out, right? But he's like, nah, nut shot.
Psych.
Yeah, psych. So yeah, good match. That was fun. And it was perfect for Saturday night's main event. I'm glad they didn't waste a PLE or an appearance at a PLE for that. Not saying that R-Truth is a waste. It's just like
No. It just it's a good story match, man. To help the story. It's a good story match. And I thought it was for the title, but when it says a non-title match, I was like, oh, I thought it was for the title. So I was like, well, that's respectable, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how will R-Truth just out of nowhere get a title shot? So
exactly. That wouldn't have made sense. So it worked out. So the cage match. Now this is what could have been the main event, and I would have been perfectly fine. But this match was awesome.
It was.
It was awesome. Both of them had kick-ass attire when they came out.
They did, yeah.
I like their entrance attire when they came out. The match was good. It was violent. And you would think after the match they had at Mania, how they going to top that? But somehow, I don't think they topped it, but I think it was equal. I think it was on a level playing field because there was a different level of psychology in this particular match, right? And I not suspected, but what I got from it when it was all said and done was like, I think we may have seen a double turn.
You talking about as far as McIntyre turning face and then Priest turning heel again?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It didn't have the. Do you remember WrestleMania 13 with Stone Cold and Bret Hart, and that's pretty much how Bret Hart turned heel and Stone Cold turned face
Yep.
in the same match,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like the Priest definitively like ending the match with the concerto. Like no one is getting out of the concerto, right? So
hell no.
So
it's a done deal.
done deal. So once he hit the concerto, I was like, all right, this one's a wrap. But he didn't go for the pin. He just walked out the cage. He just
walked out. Yep.
Just strolled out the cage. He stood there on the steps for a little bit. He looked back, and he could have went back in and did more.
To give you something to think about.
Mm-hmm. But instead, he just walked out, and that was done. Now Jesse Ventura went a little bit crazy on commentary, you know, adding to the narrative of him doing that was like cowardly or something like that. And I don't, walking out the door is not something that happens a lot in cage matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least not to my.
It was kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, at least not to my recollection. Either you're going to get the pin or you're going to climb over the top and escape that way. Matter of fact, if you're in a cage match, I think it's kind of weird if you try to escape the ring a little too early in the match. Like we're trapped in here. The whole point is to punish you with nobody else getting involved, but I'm trying to escape already. You know what I mean? So that threw me off a little bit because Damian was trying to get out early and Drew had to bring him back in with that suplex, which I thought he was almost going to kill him, trying to suplex him off that damn cage. But once the concerto was hit, I was like, yeah, this is a wrap. A definitive, like, decisive victory. And a good match. It doesn't hurt Drew at all. But another thing that made me think that this might be either a double turn, and if it's not a double turn, why I think Drew is about to turn face is because he got up on his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and
that'd be interesting, man. I ain't think about it like that. You're right. I don't know. But I think they're both like, they just got those kind of personalities, man, where they could be like neutral too. I just think they both can be. I could see like where you saying it could go that way too, because people hate Drew. Like he's that lets you know he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's good, like manipulating the crowd. He's good at making you like you love to hate him. That lets you know like he's doing a good job at evoking emotion. If they can evoke an emotion, then that lets you know they doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I definitely could see him turning like, face after that and Priest going back heel.
Besides, we know all is forgiven in the world of wrestling anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, it could be a turn. Who knows? I don't know if Damian Priest is getting stale. I don't think he's getting stale. Honestly, if they had a hardcore title, he would be the one that I would think needs to like have that because for some reason, all of his street fights are good. Damian Priest's street fights, brawls are always good. And I'd rather see him brawl and have matches like that, or at least, or just him and Drew just have amazing chemistry. I joke about Damian Priest, but Damian Priest is no punk. He's no sucker. So I look at him as legit, but yeah, I think that was good. So
I like Priest too, man. Well, I like Priest even you fucking hated it, but I like when he used to do the arrow. Like
get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
All right, so we got to draw the line somewhere. We got to draw the line somewhere. I never want to see a return of the Archer of Infamy. That's a dumbass name, by the way.
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
I had to give you another one for that one.
You hated that arrow, did you, bro?
That shit was so stupid. That shit was so stupid. So, okay, so something to think about, though. I think there were some hints of booze as well in the match. I don't know if you caught those. Some booze at Damian Priest. So it's kind of like, all right, again, maybe he didn't embrace it. I don't think he was being heelish. If anything, it was time to end this feud, right? Put an end to it. But I guess the question, do you think this is over? Is it time for Drew to move on?
No, I don't think it's over. Nah, you ain't gonna do the what do you call it, concerto?
The concerto.
Concerto. You're not gonna do that, and it's gonna be over. Nah, you disrespecting me, bro. You got to see me one more time at least.
What else can
And
they?
you gonna walk out. You gonna walk out. You gonna walk out the door
Okay.
and leave me there. Drew McIntyre ain't letting that ride, bro.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. So that I will agree that is a compelling reason to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just like, what else can they do? They're not going to exchange wrist locks and elbow collar tie ups and shit like that. So like, what can they do?
Have they done a last man standing match yet?
So what? A last man standing?
Yeah, have they done one yet?
No, but that sounds like the
That's gonna be the last. Yeah,
that sounds
last man standing match.
that sounds like a logical progression for it to be over. Like last man standing. I can't think of another gimmick match that they could do outside of Hell in a Cell. And you know, they only do that one time a year in October. So
Yeah. I don't think they would do Hell in a Cell because they just did like even though the cage match is not the same thing, it's kind of the same thing.
mm-hmm.
But I think last man standing is kind of like the last. It's like, all right, I'm gonna beat you till you can't get up no more, bro.
Right.
And that'll be who's the real winner of the feud is.
Right. So okay. You're saying it's not. You're predicting that it's not over. Probably one more round, and then it's going to be over. Because they really can't do anything else after this. I don't think.
No, they can't.
I'm not upset at it. These guys want to have hardcore matches every week. I'm with it, but at some point, from a story perspective, like Drew, he's been getting screwed left and right for over a year. You know what I mean?
I know. I said the same thing, man. Drew's been like a trooper for a minute, man. And it's just like, especially with him losing the title that fast after he like won it at WrestleMania that year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, like how long do I got to be like the role player? You know what I'm saying? Like, Drew looks good. He's charismatic. He's definitely put in the work, man, and I think he deserves, you know, to hold the belt. I don't know what belt. I don't know if it's going. I mean, he's SmackDown, right?
He is SmackDown, and apparently, when he was in that U.S. title feud, that would have been what would have made him like a Grand Slam champion had he got that U.S. title, right? So possibly him and Jacob.
Ooh, that'd be a good ass match. That would be a real good match, man.
It's one of those things. Is like when you've been the champion, like the big champion, the champion. It's like, all right, well, what do you do from here? Where do you go next, right? Because you look like you're missing something when the belt's not around your waist anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to have like a good, compelling storyline. If you're not chasing gold, like what are we fighting for at the moment?
Yeah. And I feel the same way for LA Knight too. Like LA Knight and Drew both. It's kind of like they're in purgatory. You know, like they get gold, then it's kind of like it snatched away real quick. It's like, all right, it's like y'all playing with me, bro. It's like what are y'all? It's like, all right, what's the main goal in this? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it to set me up for the world championship? But then you got people like, you know, Cody Rhodes and John Cena. It's kind of like that they're not even close to being on that level. They're superstars, but they're not like Cody Rhodes white hot. They're not John Cena, who's a vet, been doing it for a long time hot. Like, it's just like, damn, what are we gonna do? Like, I'm interested to see like how they're gonna set these guys up. People like LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, bro.
I mean, in the case of Hill Cena, I would love to see both Drew and LA Knight, you know, get a shot at Cena. I think a Drew Cena feud sounds like it would be kind of interesting if we're going to turn Drew back face.
Yeah, put him against Cena. Hell yeah.
On a mission to save WWE.
That would be fire.
That's something to think about. And again, as we always say, a nice problem to have. All right, let's get to the main event before we transition to Raw. Logan Paul versus the Yeet Man. Jey Uso, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it, man. He's looking like a champ too, bro. He's looking like
the kids.
He's looking like the equivalency of like Deion Sanders,
bro.
He was in the league. He's the Deion Sanders of wrestling, bro.
Yeah. The match itself, Logan Paul again, undeniably good. I felt as if there was some miscommunications maybe early in the match. Just a few spots that didn't seem like they were flowing too well in terms of their chemistry. However, the match picked up, and I don't know why I felt like Jey Uso gave Logan Paul the biggest Uso splash like ever. The way he just bounced off of him. You notice that? Like,
that was like, yo, this is real. Like, welcome to WWE.
Right. It was like, you YouTuber. I'm gonna put some extra stank on this splash. That's what it sounded like, but that's what it looked like. But surprisingly enough, when John Cena ran into Jay earlier, and John Cena was like, I haven't seen you since you threw me out in the Rumble, so he already had a chip on his shoulder there, right? He was like, oh yeah, it'd be something if you lost to a damn YouTuber. That would totally ruin wrestling. I'm like, okay.
He was like,
So I'm sitting here like, okay, is this where we're going? Are we going to have a champion versus champion feud at some point? I mean, I'm with it if they do it. But what I didn't expect was for John Cena just to run up in there and be the shenanigan maker. And
I didn't expect that either.
I did not expect that at all.
Me neither. They on point, man.
They're on point. So, having said that, I didn't look at any spoilers before I watched it, and I watched it later that evening. I was happy to see Cody Rhodes come back, and the way he came back, it made sense. Jey Uso is his boy. John Cena, did him wrong at WrestleMania. Perfect timing to come do it. And ultimately, again, the match itself was good. Jey Uso got the win. However, it was tainted with some shenanigans, but a win is a win, right? But it led to, let me just go to the next slide real quick. It led to what's going to be most likely the main event at Money in the Bank. And I think this is one of those tag matches that's kind of a layup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a layup. Don't do this on television. Save this for a pay-per-view. Buy us some time before the next title defense. And technically, Jay will be defending the belt the next night on Raw. But let's buy some time. But what seems weird to me, and maybe you might share the same sentiment, what seemed weird to me was that John Cena and Logan Paul don't seem like two people under any circumstances that would ever team up, even if we're both heels. Logan Paul's the type of guy that I would see John Cena feuding with, not teaming with. You know what I mean? Because Logan Hill is such a great antagonizer. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, man. Logan Paul is like, he's obnoxious.
Right.
And John Cena is just definitely not about that life at all, man. It seemed like he would get annoyed with something like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
that part.
Yeah.
That part.
But it's very interesting to see this team up, man, because I think they just kind of keep everything unpredictable. Like, and that's definitely something I wouldn't predict them teaming them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was definitely surprised by that.
Yeah, I would think that a face John Cena, and possibly we may have talked about it. I think we did talk about it, like Logan versus Cena was like a natural thing to do. This is before Cena turned heel, because we didn't see that coming, right? But I felt Logan Paul versus Cena made all the sense in the world because Cena is the guy who will wrestle against a celebrity. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, this match should be pretty damn exciting.
Yeah.
It's a big match, and I would love to see it live. But of course, WWE doesn't want. They want to price everybody out. Here's the way I see it. I'm gonna wait until like the day before Money in the Bank to see if those tickets came down in price, and it will be a game time decision because I've never been to Money in the Bank, so that's one that I need to scratch off my list. But I am not paying $300 to sit in no damn nosebleed. No. And even with this match that I would love to see, because I would like to see Hill Cena live before this farewell tour is over. It is what it is. The view on the TV screen is always the best view, to be quite honest with you. It's just like, there's just a different energy when you're there live.
I still haven't went to a live taping of like Raw or anything yet, man. So that's still on my list. I meant to go to Raw last time it was here. I think it was in at the PNBC arena, and I just let it slip my mind. It was just working, bro. But yeah, I can only imagine how it feels.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's no commentary. You don't hear any commentary. You just see the action. But again,
Yeah.
that's where the storytelling of wrestling comes into play,
Mhm.
right? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. And once they decide who else is going to be in Money in the Bank, that might help me further with making a decision on whether I'm going to go or not. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, good show. Saturday night's main event set up a lot of things. The Bronson Reed re-debut, the John Cena Jey Uso interaction, the R-Truth match, the cage match, and whatever's going to happen next, we'll know once Drew comes back. I don't expect Drew to come back this week though. Nah,
No, he got to get himself together after that, man.
he got to follow concussion protocol after that. You know what I mean? But all right, so that is Saturday night's main event, and we can move on to Monday Night Raw.
Right now, you're checking out VSOP.
Hip hop and wrestling.